One of the most costly nuisances that we have in the cow-calf industry every summer is eye infections. We know if a cow gets a bad eye infection that we probably are having less milk production. She may have some lowered body condition just because she's not eating as much as she should. And that could eventually lead to situations where we have reduced reproduction later on. Research has shown us that a calf, a spring-born calf out here on summer pasture that gets an eye infection on the average will wean about 21 pounds lighter than counterparts that don't experience eye infections. So if we're having a situation this summer where we have a large incidence of eye infections in our herd, we want to visit with our veterinarian about the possible treatments that might be available, including some antibiotics or some vaccines. But what I really want to concentrate on today are some management ideas that I think in the long term can improve our situation in terms of eye infections in our herd. Research done at Iowa State University about 10 years ago indicated that there's a genetic factor involved with eye infections in cattle. They listed the heritability of actually getting an eye infection at about 0.18, and that's something that we would call low to moderately heritable. That tells me that over a long period of time, we can make some progress in our herd by not keeping back heifers that are from cows that had a history of eye infections. It's not going to be something that cures the problem immediately, but over a long period of time, we can help ourselves. Also, in that particular research, they examined the tears of cattle that had eye infections and found that there was a relationship between the concentration of immunoglobulin A. That's just one of the antibodies that is present in all cattle. But there was a relationship between the amount of that in the tears and the incidence of eye infections. That tells me that we can help ourselves by having cattle that are well nourished with a good mineral program in front of them all summer long, and cattle that have been immunized against the respiratory diseases such as IBR and BVD. These are a couple of things along with good insect control, fly control, which is certainly one of the ways that eye infections are transmitted from animal to animal. We can really help ourselves in terms of reducing the incidence in our herd. I think if we look at some of these long-term items, we can reduce the incidence of eye infections in our herd over the long haul and really improve our bottom line. We'd like to point you towards the SunUp website. There's available on that website a fact sheet that tells a whole lot more about eye infections in cattle and ways to treat them. So go to the SunUp website, that's sunup.okstate.edu. Look under show links, and there you can find a link to that particular fact sheet. I think it'll help you out a lot. And we sure look forward to visiting with you again next week on SunUp's Cow-Calf Corner.